We just want to talk about the Rick Steiner controversy that's sort of going on right now in the wrestling world. Rick Steiner, I guess, was at WrestleCon, a year ago, 6 months back, and he had made some remark to his brother Scott about Impact wrestler Gisele Shaw, who I guess is trans. I didn't even realize that. So I guess Rick Steiner had said some things that Gisele Shaw, they got in some sort of argument at WrestleCon. Of course, the Twitter mob goes, cancel him, and all this stuff. And they go shame WWE for even having him there at the award ceremonies and all this shit. And then now WrestleCon says we're going to have Rick Steiner back to do a signing. And then everybody on Twitter's melting down going, cancel him. He's a trans blah, 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 blah. And yeah, so it's caused a bit of a stink.
Out of control.
Now, just to give basically what I think is, like, Rick Steiner is an old dude. And this... Yeah, like these older dudes, man, they're not going to understand these things in a way. But also, and I'm not excusing like any phobia or anything hateful, but the thing is like, you can't go at WWE for any of that. You can't even call this guy phobic or anything like that. Apparently Rick Steiner did apologize to WrestleCon, and he did apologize to Gisele Shaw. He went and apologized to the entire Impact locker room, something that Gisele Shaw refused to attend his apology. So I'm sorry, but to me, it's like, well, I get like, you're like, I don't want his apology, but like, goddamn, what do you like? He was trying to be the bigger person and go, I fucked up. And a lot of the same people who were giving Jay Briscoe leniency with his comments are saying, are trying to cancel Rick Steiner. So basically, Effie Lives at Effie Lives on Twitter. Effie tweeted out, and we shouted out Effie on the show. We use him on our little artwork for the...
Yeah, I love Effie.
Right. Oh, I love Effie too, but it seems as though, I hope Effie didn't block us. Okay, good. I was like, we never did or said we love Effie, dude. We never did or said shit towards Effie, but I just wanted to read. Now, he may have, I think Effie made this tweet unable to view now or something in the time since we pulled it up, Hairline. So I apologize. But basically, Effie was like, fuck this, like, cancel Rick Steiner type thing, right? And everybody jumped in and was like, well, Effie, you defended Jay Briscoe, and Effie, you are friends with the Young Bucks. Like, you defend the Bucks and those guys. And here's video of the Bucks using homophobic slurs in PWG, and like, here's CM Punk using homophobic slurs on a fan at a live event in WWE. And
CM Punk has said some shit.
Yeah, so people are like, if you're okay, like, why are you okay? And then other people are jumping into the conversation and going, well, why are you conflating using homophobic slurs with Rick Steiner being a transphobe? Now, it's just like, well, okay, Effie's the one who brought in, if I'm not mistaken, he's the one who brought into his tweet, for LGBTI plus community, So this is why this whole group is lumping themselves all together. So that's why it's being conflated with homophobic issues. You can't blame people for conflating those things. And especially when someone like Effie has stood up vocally for Jay White, and then he's just going, no, to hell with Rick Steiner. Hairline, I just want your thoughts on all of this. And what do you think? Like, is this canceling shit just getting stupid? Like, it's Rick Steiner. He's an older guy. He tried to apologize. Yes, the world's changing, but a lot of this trans shit is very new, and you can't expect people to just be when Facebook has, I think it's like 7,000 registered different pronouns. You can't expect anyone to know any of this. Doesn't mean they're transphobes. Doesn't mean they're hateful. Now, maybe Rick Steiner is. I don't fucking know. I don't know the guy. But to be like, cancel him and his legacy. He apologized. Like, yeah, what? So Jay Briscoe apologized, and people going, what does homophobia have to do with transphobia? Well, it's because all the phobia, ist. You guys are saying everyone's sexist, racist, obic, all these obia, right? So they obviously fall under the same category of phobia and ist or ick or whatever. So all of those things under that category can be compared in a way where, well, what's the difference if somebody says something hateful that's racist or homophobic and then transphobic? Oh, how do you conflate those? Well, because you guys are claiming it's something phobic or hateful or bigoted. So that's why they're being compared. Like, if one guy can come back from saying something that's a mistake and apologize, why can't another gentleman say something that's a mistake and apologize and come back from that? You dumb fucks. That's where the conflation's getting weird. Now, I don't have some big stance on this whole thing. I don't care about getting in the political aspect of any of this. Is it going too goddamn far? Should we just all calm the fuck down? Like, Effie, why are you like saying it's okay for one guy to apologize and grow from his mistakes, but it's not okay for another person? Gisele Shaw, why are you not willing to accept this man's apology? Hairline, your thoughts on all of this?
Man, that's a lot. That's a lot to digest. All right, I'm gonna start off with first off. I'm gonna compare Rick Steiner to what we said about Corny on some past pods. They're from a different era, man. You know, like
Right.
I don't know, we just like he's not magically discredited just because he's old. You know what I'm saying? Not I'm just I kind of nutshelled that. You know what I'm saying? But fucking more or less, I was saying because he's fucking maybe a little bit more ignorant doesn't mean his wrestling matches suck or yada yada yada. You know.
Right.
I guess I'll use that to fucking jump into yeah, man. This canceling shit has got out of control. You know, ridiculous, bro.
Like, what do they want? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Hold that thought, but like, what do they want? Him to die or never make a dollar again? Like, I don't understand what's the end game of going at him so hard. You want him to go, I apologize for saying this shit. I do. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Well, he did that. And Gisele Shaw didn't even want to go. So he did do that. So what do you guys want? It's not an apology because he did that. So what do you want him to jump off a building or to never be able to provide for his family again? I don't quite understand what the end game is here. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, yeah, man. I don't like. I agree with you. Like, what do they want from him? Now I guess I'll start this with I am a male. You know, so I don't know what it's like to be transgender or wear those shoes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know
Right.
anything about that life, so I can't exactly say how Shaw does or does not feel oppressed or yada 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 or like mentally ill or like just fucking depressed, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what any of her life is like.
Right.
But the fact that like he did try to apologize and just to be ignorant about that is kind of like well like what do you want then? Because like
Exactly. Like, well, what would you want him
you're
to
gonna look
just die? Like, what do you want him
right.
to at least try and have it
You,
where you can be cordial in the wrestling world together? You don't have to be friends, Giselle, but like,
right. Well, like we should be working towards the results. So like it just
right.
seems like fucking. Oh, I just want to whine on Twitter, and like
Right.
I don't
And
know,
then
man.
what do you think about like old Young Bucks clips from PWG and then people defending it going, "Oh, this is what I literally saw a tweet of. You've clearly never seen PWG. They did all kinds of edgy shit like that." Now, that's not like diva pillow fights or brawn panties matches saying the F word and I think fucking what's his face and we're not the language police here, dude. Like, whatever, we've all said these words, we've all said the fuck they slip, bro.
We
We're
all
from
grew
an
up.
era too, we're from the
Yeah,
90s and shit,
we
like
grew
early
up.
90s, you say different shit.
Yeah, man.
But what do you think of like people defending going, oh, they did all kinds of edgy shit there? And it's like, yeah, but your guys' standard is like people can't say these things, but it's okay because in PWG, Excalibur said the N-word and called people because they were doing edgy stuff. And it's like, that's not, and then people want to try and cancel what was the Attitude Era.
Well,
It's like, dude, that's not titties. That's like being racist and trying to make a storyline out of it. Fine. I'm not against like Quentin Tarantino writing a movie like Django where it says the N word 10,000 times. I think that's okay. I'm okay with art being art and all of that. But what do you think of people trying to now go, but Effie, you like the Bucks and look at them saying shit that's like hateful towards, now obviously the Bucks were doing it in like an acting working sense. But what do you think of people digging this stuff up of like Punk and going, look what he said about women before?
well, it's like basically there's a tree over there, and it's growing some cherries, and I'm only gonna pick some of them. I'm not gonna pick all of them, and
Yes,
even
sir.
though they're all cherries, they're all the same thing. I'm only gonna select a few of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, more or less, that's what that is, man.
So, but
charity.
you're on team like, okay, fuck what Punk said before, fuck what Rick Steiner. This is my favorite quote. Ready?
People
DMX,
are allowed to make mistakes.
the great DMX said this one time. He said, "Fuck what you heard,
Ah,
it's what you're hearing. Listen." Basically, what DMX was saying, like, fuck anything you heard, it's what you're hearing right now. And so, fuck what.
for
Not,
sure.
not to say people don't stand by their words, but people say a lot of shit. The world's changing.
Yeah.
Can't be mad that some of these older people can't fully acclimate. Now, if he was like out there running the Third Reich of fucking transphobia, I'd be right there with you going, fuck this guy. But he's not doing that. He tried to apologize. And it's like you guys are canceling him from doing a signing. He's Rick fucking Steiner. But ultimately, man, shout out Effie, shout out Gisele Shaw, shout out the Young Bucks, shout out Punk, and shout out Rick Steiner.